Welcome back to the Starbase Indy podcast, where we talk to and about people who are inspired by Star Trek or science fiction to work towards hopeful futures in the real world.
My name is Darrell Miller, 34 years old, from Indianapolis, Indiana. You know, I'm an entertainer. I cosplay. I'm a hip hop artist. I do clean hip hop music. I create my own comic books. I create my own card game. Just released a coloring book for my comic book. So I do a whole lot of stuff. I'm a filmmaker. Won 12 independent film awards recently. So I'm still trying
Nice.
to grow in the film world and stuff. But yeah, I'm just all around like entertainer. I love it all.
So talk to me about how you got started.
Oh, wow. Well, it started with music, and I started in 2011 with my brothers. We did a group in 2011, and then we kind of split up around 2014. And then I met this guy named Romeo Gearson. He was teaching me how to own my own business because I was under his magazine. I was in it. I was one of his models. But he was like, yo, you could be a business owner, so I'm going to teach you how to own a business. I did that. He helped me create my Royalty Virtue Entertainment LLC company around 2018. So since then, I've been trying to, build my business and stuff like that. And I was doing my record label, and I had my family and nephew. I was signing and working on music. And when that kind of didn't go the way that I wanted to, and didn't have the resources and money to really push the artists, I took a break from that, and which made me like, let me try acting. My favorite actor is Will Smith. So he came a rapper and turned to an actor too. So I'm like, let me try that. So I started my first project called The Boy in the Darkness. It was like a short horror urban film I did based off my album I called The Boy in the Darkness. And I fell in love with filming and behind the scenes writing, directing my own projects. So I started doing that. I met my brother Christian Griffin through a mutual friend. And me and him been teaming up on making films and stuff like that. So ever since, I just grew into a love of filmmaking. So, but also like when it came to like comic books and stuff, I always, as a kid, loved drawing and making comic books. I'm a big nerd. So I used to, as a kid in school, we get these little journals or whatever books. And I used to create my own comics using them, like my own superheroes and stuff. So I was like, let me just try something like that. It's always been my childhood dream. So I did that. I released 2 issues. A lot Mexican on Fiverr, she created it with a nice budget of mine. And we sold out actually at PopCon last year. Me and my brother Keith, he helped me to sell, and it made me like realize like, yo, I got a lane in this too. Like it's just about, marketing yourself and really pushing that, I still need help on, but I just started keep creating. And then I came up with my card game called Evidential Myths. This year, after we did a little short, I was like, I like card games. Me and my friends do just to do something fun we can do. So we created Evidential Myths, like a little quick 5 to 10 minute card game that you could play, because me and my friends I used to work at FedEx, we used to play little spades or something like that. So it made me come up with a game idea like that. So me and my brother Yashawan, we did the rules and make sure people loved it. When we see that kids loved it and adults loved it, we was like, all right. So we pushing our card game right now. I first started that, but we got plenty more to go with that. So we just slowly pushing as we go.
So what are your inspirations? Sounds like your own creativity is enough
Yeah.
inspiration, but you talked about Will's. What else? What else has inspired you to take this path?
Oh my gosh. It's really hard. It's hard to say what like a one thing inspires me. It's mostly
Well, give me
like
a
I just see
whole
the
list.
yeah, like it's just what I see in the world. Like I get inspired by like when me and my friends used to just play games. So I was like, let me create my own game. When movies, like me and my best friends, when we was in school, like high school, almost every weekend we'll go see a movie. So I was like, yo, let me create my own movie, see how that is. You know what I'm saying? Like just things that I do in real life, kind of be like, let me try it. Like, let me just see if it can be done. Like, if I can do it, you know what I mean? Whether I need help or not. But I always try to, things that I love and enjoy, I try to at least try to do it once to say, I done it or I experienced this and stuff like that. I never wanted to get to that phase of life of like, I wish I had done this or I
Mhm.
wish I would have tried this. So to knock that out, let me just try it. You know what I mean? Even if I don't have all the money, let me do a sample size or something like that and see how they can grow into something bigger, depending on the fan base and people supporting it as well.
That's phenomenal. So tell me about these film awards that you've won.
Yeah, so we started it was my project called Perigenics. Me and my brother Christian and a group of us in Indianapolis, Indiana, created it was the 2019 we started. We filmed a little web series that I wanted to do was a superhero horror slash action little series, and I wanted to just see if we could do something like that. I was like, well, I don't see too much people creating original superhero, especially in Indiana. So like we should create our own because I wanted it to rival Marvel and DC. So I created all these characters and in the city and things like that, which was fun. We got to work with kids, talented people. And that was my first big project. We worked with over probably like 60 people, and like I was broke, but people helped me resources, and I didn't know what I was doing, but I got help to tell the story that I really wanted to tell. It was amazing. It was stressful, but the turnout was amazing and things like that. So I put it in film festivals, just trying out, and some people loved it and got it, and we won like 5 last year, and then I did it again. We worked on season 2, but we was in the midst of the COVID. So it was like we done it, we got finished with it, but it was so hard because of what was going on at the time. So we still edit into this day and we shot that in 2020. Like my brother still editing it and trying to put it together and stuff like that. But we only got I think four episodes we released so far, but we start putting that at film festival. This is to show people what we done and that won some awards. And then our Power Rangers morph we did this year or last year. I put in film festivals as well and won like award as well. So like I just do little shorts here and there, put my money into it, and just push it out and see how it goes.
That's fantastic. So you talked about film festivals and a little bit
Yeah,
about conventions. What
yeah.
role have conventions specifically played in your creative journey and in your business journey?
Oh, amazing. Like, even going to Starbase and stuff, I see talented people, what they create, you know what I mean? Like, especially like original, I really peep out people's original creations. And I love seeing that, like, just what they think of their minds and put it together and the time they put in it. So that's why even if I interview them or I talk to them and see how long they've been doing it, and that's like, wow, like for them to believe in themselves and to, get a table and to, market themselves and to do that. And it made me like want to do that too. Cause I started doing it last year, have my own vendor table and stuff like that. Once I feel I had a lot of some merchandise, how people be interested. Sometimes you don't sell nothing at all. I've been there where like you walk out with nothing or you be negative, but I meet people and I build
Mhm.
relationships. So like, long as I can bring something back, I'll be happy. You know what I mean? Now a lot of times you're gonna earn the money that you put into it, but as long as you build relationships and network, that's what helped me out. Because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have got many opportunities. I wouldn't have met you. I wouldn't have met a lot of amazing people along the way to take pictures and. Then that's what helped spark my cosplaying journey too. Is let me cosplay, and then that turned into like me now, my second year, I'm in a Power Ranger movie called Power Ranger Anaheim with Roger V from the actual Power Rangers in Space and Turbo show. So just to have fun like that, you never know, like you win opportunities. And I also was on a panel with him at Chaoticon this year. So to finally get those opportunities of just meeting people, and that was the guy that gave me that opportunity. I interviewed him at what was it, PopCon? Just interviewed him just to show love to his video game event and stuff like that. And he just like, yo, you want to host these Power Rangers that you kind of working with it? I'm like, yeah, sure. I never done that before, but you just never know. You know what I mean? You
Mhm.
just you help other people and show love, and then you never know what that can turn into later on, saying meeting them again, then they know somebody that can help you out with what you want to do in life. So it's been very fun, vendor. I always tell people like, you got something creative, definitely want to vendor and try it out and see how it goes, and just meeting people. And sometimes they don't buy none, but you give them a card with your QR code with all your social media. You never know when they purchase something later on. They're like me, sometimes they don't purchase something that first day, but they might the last day, or what I
Hmm.
mean, maybe the next time around and stuff. So you just never know.
Yeah, and it's a long game with creative
Yeah. Yeah.
endeavors, especially, right? You've got to build that recognition. It sounds like you really enjoy the process too,
Yeah.
which seems like it's important to success because you're not fixated on just the end goal.
Right. No.
It's a
No,
fun
no.
journey.
Yes, yes.
So I know you're a Power Rangers fan. Are you also a Star Trek fan? You don't
I
have to be. It's
haven't wa
okay. Just ask.
Yeah. I haven't watched Star Trek in a long time. I more so grew up on, like, Star Wars a little bit,
Hmm.
maybe because of just the lightsaber appeal of it and things like that. Yeah, my cousins used to watch Star Trek a lot. I don't know, because me growing up as a kid, like I said, it was either Star Wars, but I was more into, like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, so just,
Hmm.
more so than that. Then I start later on in my years getting into, like, sci-fi and things like that, when I'm like, "Oh, this is actually cool," when I start to learn more, about it and stuff, and so, yeah.
So you were at Starbase Indy for the first time last year.
Yes.
What did you love about it?
I love the uniqueness of it and how you all put it together. Like, I love the how everybody seems so thrilled about science. You know what I mean? Like, I never was a school guy, or was in, what I mean? It was like difficult for me,
Hmm.
but just to see people dressing up, you had people wearing Star Trek suits and everything like that. People really like into it. It just like, man, it's something for everybody, right? Like, you had
Hmm.
Star Wars fan base, but you're Star Trek, but then you got the ones with both. Some people just love sci-fi in general, like, so just to see all that come together, I loved seeing that. Like, I always love seeing new things. And I always like giving new
Yeah.
things a try, and just to expand, what's going on, because I get creativity from new things and stuff. The more I learn, the more I see how it works and stuff. Like, because I eventually want to do my own sci-fi projects and stuff like that. Actually, I'm working on the sci-fi short horror right now. So I like to just give it a try and see, what I can learn from it, how fun it is. And Power Rangers no different. It's still kind of sci-fi in that realm, out of Earth powers
Hmm.
being, what I'm saying? So it's kind of in that realm a little bit, what I'm saying? But I really enjoyed Starbase, like what y'all created. And I love that people's nice, and, the vendors, the guests, and I like the setup in the hotel, and what y'all done. And even when we had that meeting, and just how everybody was helping each other, and it sounds like a family, like y'all building, as growing and stuff like that with these events and stuff. It's very inspirational and stuff. Like, I eventually want to do a convention, but I can tell it's a lot of hard work that goes with it, and, pieces and relationships. But no, I'm proud of what y'all been doing, and I'm glad to have been there last year. And Demetrius Witherspoon told me about it, who's my mentor. And he was like, yeah, I was like, yeah, I could see why he recommended.
Yeah, Demetrius is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And you're right, it is a lot of work, but it is kind of a chosen found family thing.
Yeah.
Like lots of, you know, like any creative endeavor, you meet a lot of people and those relationships really matter. So
Yeah.
I'm delighted that we've, I don't know, sucked you into the vortex of Starbase
Yeah.
Indy.
You too. Thank you. I appreciate it. No, no, like, I definitely, like I said, I definitely loved it. And so I got a question for you. What made y'all create Starbase, and what is your future goal with Starbase?
Starbase Indy was founded in 1988 by a
Mm,
guy named Mike Morey, and he ran it. And I don't get really clear on the history until about 2004. So it went through several iterations. 2004, a group took it over or brought it back in collaboration with the hotel. My understanding is the hotel sort of reached out and said, "Hey, we'd love to bring this back."
yeah,
My first year was 2000, and I kind of immediately fell in love with the people.
yeah,
I was in my mid-30s at the time,
yeah,
and I had this really profound experience of, "Oh, here they are.
Right.
I've been looking for you people my entire adult life because
Right.
I grew up on science fiction, and then you get into the corporate world and people don't understand what it means to rock something.
Yeah.
And like, it just, so I sort of dove in, and 20 years later, I'm still involved. And in 2017, we became a 501c3,
Okay.
in part because we were getting a lot of great big conventions in Indianapolis, like PopCon. We already had
Yeah.
Gen Con. From a perspective, when I first started, it was a lot about the stars that we brought in, and they weren't necessarily the biggest names, but it's a small enough event that people really got a personal experience with them.
Right.
Well, the economics have changed,
Yeah.
and we can't compete with Indiana Comic Con that's going to bring in 100 celebrities.
Right.
So we're like, well, what can we do to stay relevant? And so we leaned pretty hard into both the science side of it and the local creator
Mhm.
aspect. And so that piece has been, for me, a lot of fun. I think a lot of people find it fun, obviously, but
Right.
I love when we can get together a filmmaker and a professor and an artist and have conversations about where the world, how each of them interact with a piece of the world,
Right.
right? And so the future is more of that, just trying to, keep it going with
Yes.
small fan run conventions. The pandemic was a thing for a lot
Yeah.
of them. It's all volunteer. We have no paid staff, and people feel very squeezed sometimes with the world. And then what do you have time for on a volunteer basis? But I just saw a social media post this morning from someone who said they can't wait till the con because they get to see people that they don't see otherwise. And it's
Right.
stuff like that that kind of keeps us going, or at least me. I can't speak for everybody, but that's
Right.
what it is for me.
No, that's amazing. Like to do that, like with the longevity of the, Starbase keep growing and stuff.
Mhm.
I know it's just like I know you want to reach a it's more people that love Star Wars or Star Trek. So it's like how do you draw it's like figuring out how to draw those people at this convention because there's something for them here and stuff like that. Of course we got like the anime that's running almost everything. Then you got, you got
Mhm.
the Star Wars, but almost the same thing. So you could really tie them into Star Trek and Starbase because all in lines with sci-fi. But it's like so much competitiveness with anime and stuff. And I even realized it's like, dang, how big because I think that's why those cons really grow because of the anime and the was like fantasy gaming and stuff like that. But is wild to me because I know it's a fan base for Star Trek. I know it's a fan base for like Star Wars. I know it's a fan base for sci-fi people and it's like, yo, you actually got a spot in Indianapolis like that you can actually go to that you can be loved and enjoyed and express how much it changed your life or why you love it so much in Starbase and stuff like that. That's why I would want to see more because it's to me, Starbase is that. Like you can have
Yeah.
all those, like what I mean. Even the Power, like I said, Power Rangers because sci-fi is still out of this world space, powers, energy, and out of this earth space and stuff. All that still almost like what Star Trek does and talks about, just in their own, unique way and stuff. It's like we all need to come together and say, hey, we got this event. Hey, we all part of this. We all can come together and stuff like that. That's what for me as a fan from last year was like this is that spot. Like, yo, this could be for all of us and love and enjoy, talk about what got us into it and stuff like that. Like, 'cause I really see it, coming through and stuff like that. You know what I mean? The more we talk about it, more we got content and stuff like that. Hopefully open eyes for people from different cities and around Indiana to come to Starbase.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And once people come, a lot of them have a similar experience. I've talked to a lot of people who had the same experience I did, where it was like, oh, here's how I find these people.
Yeah.
And my life divides very sharply before and after Thanksgiving weekend 2006, and in a way that I never, ever could have predicted. But there is something about hanging out with people who enjoy thinking about ways the world could be different.
Yeah.
And being able to do that in person, we do so much online,
Mhm.
and it's not the same as being in a physical space with people. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a privilege to be in a position to help provide a place for that.
Yeah. Yeah, ever thought about like doing, well, I don't want to say not like a Q&A, but live discussions about Star Trek so you could connect with people around the world, like so you could kind of expand that so people can know more about Starbase. Not only that, just the love you all have for Star Trek and sci-fi and stuff like that. You ever thought about like going live and stuff so people could come in and talk from around the world or something like that? And they're probably looking for people. They probably looking for Starbase and you all, but probably just don't know how to do it or see people.
We started a podcast
Yeah.
and we're at, I think this will be about our 80th episode. So we've been doing
Wow.
that for a while.
Yeah.
And I think that the local component is one of the things I wouldn't want to lose.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of huge fan groups and, there's Starfleet International, there's Starfleet Command, there's the
Right.
Federation, there's all of these big international fan clubs.
Right.
And they do a lot of that kind of stuff. And we just have our little corner of the ecosystem. And I kind of like our little garden. We keep growing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Not too hectic.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, like I said, we don't have any paid staff.
Yeah.
It's all we can do to throw one convention a year.
Right.
Like,
Right.
you should do this more often. Like, you should get me a time turner and then we'll talk.
Right. Yeah. I definitely got it. Yeah. No, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. No.
Yeah. So where can people find you online?
They can find me on the official DARELL 317. That's on Facebook, Instagram. I'm on and off on TikTok, but mostly you can find me on Facebook and Instagram for the most part. And then my website is royaltyvirtue.net. That's with an I, not a Y, royalty with an I. Virtue.net. That's my website. Also, YouTube, type in Royalty Virtue. You can see all my content when I go to conventions. I like to showcase other people's work, or whether it's panels or vendors and things like that. I like to show love, or you watch some of my short films or projects out there. I post sometimes, but most likely, if you want to reach me or anything, it's most likely should be Facebook or Instagram, where I put most of my content on and things like that. But yeah, that's where you could really find me.
And you're bringing your camera to this year's Starbase, Indy, right?
Yes. And I'm bringing my camera guy, my bro Jeff. We're gonna be pushing content and things like that just to help push it, and just so y'all can have something amazing to showcase and stuff to amazing people for this year and stuff. So I can't wait. We
I'm
excited.
looking forward to that. Yeah, that's going to be fantastic.
Yes. I think it's amazing. I love doing that.
Yeah. So thank you so much for taking time to talk to me this morning.
No problem. No, thank you for having me on here. It was an honor, so I appreciate it.
And a couple of weeks, and we'll see you on the Starbase.
Yes, I'll be there with my cosplay suits and with my camera.
Yeah, fantastic. Especially.
Thanks for listening to the Starbase Indy podcast. To find more information about our live event this November, check us out at starbaseindy.org or on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. See you on the Starbase.